Hey Siri, turn on the LIFX bulb.
Done.
Greetings Internet, it's Dustin again with my HomeKit Home, and today we're looking at the LIFX A19 Wi-Fi Smart LED light bulb. If you find today's video useful, please like, share, subscribe. All links can be found in the description box below. So, taking the cap off of the cylindrical tube that the bulb comes in, we're greeted with actually quite of a large bulb. Not necessarily a bad thing, but just something to keep in mind depending on where you're thinking about putting this. So in the tube also comes a little quick start guide, as you can see. Well, let's go ahead and turn that right side up, why don't we? There we go. On the back of this little tiny guide, we have our HomeKit code, as you can see there. And basically we just have some quick instructions here, how to download the app, etc, etc. We don't need that. Let's get into the setup. Alright, from the App Store we'll download the LIFX app, and once we hit open, we are greeted with the sign in or register screen. We also have the option down at the bottom for trying a virtual light, which I think is a really interesting kind of marketing tool, so you can try it out before you buy one of these bulbs. So this is an interesting thing. So I did sign up for an account with LIFX because you kind of have to, but until now, so this is a few weeks after having the bulb, I still can't log into my LIFX account on a different device. I've reached out to the people at LIFX. I haven't heard back from them yet, but we'll see how that goes. I'm sure it's just a minor hiccup. Alright, so now that we have registered with LIFX, let's go ahead and jump into the app, and we actually have an option for setting up LIFX with HomeKit, which is what we want to do. So we'll go ahead and tap on Get Started. It'll ask us to use our home data, and of course we'll say yes. And here's kind of where things started to go downhill. So we're searching for a light, and in retrospect, I guess this kind of makes sense because we hadn't actually connected it to Wi-Fi yet, and well, it's a Wi-Fi bulb. What I would have liked to see here was a prompt to connect it to Wi-Fi like we see with plugs and other Wi-Fi enabled HomeKit devices, but we didn't see that. So here's what we did. We tapped on Add Any Light, and here we're kind of just taken through the LIFX light setup in general. So we'll tap Get Started, and of course it wants to send us some notifications, so let's go ahead and let that happen. Alright, allow. So here we need to go to our settings to actually connect our Wi-Fi to the bulb itself, and then it'll kind of automatically jump back over there. So let's go to our Wi-Fi settings. You can see down there at the bottom that we have our LIFX light, connect, and it's just moving over all of the Wi-Fi settings. Brilliant. We're connected to Not Your Airport Extreme. We'll tap Done at the top right. And let's go back to the LIFX app now. Okay, no, we can see that the background changed, so obviously we added our bulb to the network. Didn't really know what to tap on here, so I just tapped on cancel. And again, it could have been a little bit more intuitive, I guess. But anyway, we'll go ahead and tap cancel, and it brings us back to our setup process. So we're almost done according to the LIFX app, so let's continue the setup. And once we tap that orange button at the bottom, we need to put it into a location. Now this is not the actual physical GPS location, this is just a name. Alright, so for posterity's sake, we're just going to click home. I think that'll work. Alright, and after setting our location, we'll put it into a group. Basically, this is a room for us in the HomeKit world. So here I'll just tap on bedroom, and it looks like after I name it, which I'll come up with something very clever and interesting like, I don't know, LIFX, we should be good to go. And as you can see, we are. Now we're prompted to set up our voice assistant of choice. Of course, for us, it is Apple Siri and HomeKit. Now, honestly, I didn't find many of these videos and tutorials useful. One that you might find useful is compatible products. This is kind of a list of which LIFX products are compatible with HomeKit, which they are not all. So if you're thinking about expanding your LIFX setup, go ahead and make sure that you do your research first. Now that our bulb is connected to the LIFX app, the easiest way I found to connect it to HomeKit was using Apple's Home app. So from either the home screen or any room, we'll tap the plus button on the top right and we'll add accessory. And it's standard fare for HomeKit products. So let's just use a bit of YouTube magic and just like that, we are done. Alright, so now that we're set up, let's go ahead and look at our options for the bulb itself. We can change the name, we can move it around to different rooms if we prefer, we can decide whether or not we want to include it in our favorites if we so desire. Also at the bottom, if you tap to the manufacturer's app in the event name of the device, you'll have a short list of different icons that you can assign in the home app. Identify the bulb in your different rooms. Functionality. If we tap on color, we get our color presets. And if we tap on edit, we of course have our color wheel. Here we can also choose the temperature, which this bulb is pretty impressive. It has a temperature range of 2400 to 9000 Kelvin. I like it. Let's look at what we can do with the LIFX app. So here in the LIFX app, we can turn the light on and off from the home screen, but if we tap on the name of the device just below, we have some further options. We can adjust the Kelvin rating. I do like that it gives us the actual Kelvin rating. In the middle there, we can dim and brighten the device. We can also turn it off, turn it on. We can also swipe over and we have our color wheel. Not the biggest fan of this particular type of color wheel, but it does do the job. So we have some pretty similar controls here. Dimming and brightening in the middle there, on and off just below that. And if we look here, we've got some color sharing options, some recent colors, etc. If we look down at the bottom, we can change our themes, which if you're familiar with Hue, this would be something similar to a scene. We also have some predetermined colors here. The next tab is the fun one. This is the effects tab. So here we have our animated theme. So this basically animates a theme. I can't really show you this because I don't have more than one LIFX bulb, but I think you can kind of get the idea. Our next effect here is a color shifter, and we have some basic controls here. We can adjust the speed of the change as well as the degree of change. Our next effect is a flicker effect. This kind of gives you the simulated motion of a candle, perhaps. This might be good for outdoor settings, maybe for dining rooms, etc. This next effect is my favorite. It's a music visualizer. This uses your device's microphone and changes the lights based on the rhythm of the music. This is really, really cool for parties, for movies. Really, any sound that the microphone can pick up, it will react to. I really like this effect, especially with the granularity of the control in terms of the variation of colors, the brightness, the zones, etc. Really cool. Next effect are some pastel colors. So this is just a little bit like the kind of color changing effect, except that, well, the colors are pastel. I quite like it. It's very unoffensive, not very bright, kind of calming and soothing. Our next effect is a color randomizer. Not only does it randomize colors, but it also randomizes brightness. And we do have some more granular controls there. Our next effect I quite like, and it's the spooky effect. One of the really cool things about this one is that it has a blackout. So you can set it to completely black out at different durations. Really great for Halloween. This next one, I'll give you the same warning as LIFX does. Please be careful. If you or anyone you know has epilepsy or any other conditions that are triggered by flashing lights, maybe don't use this one. But great for parties if that's what you're into. Moving over now to the day and dusk tab. Here we have a few different options for how lights will behave at different times during the day. We have a wake up, day, evening, night light. So this isn't anything too crazy, but it can help to keep your circadian rhythms in check, and really can help you kind of stay on schedule and kind of reproduce sunlight if that's something that you need. Last part of the app that I wanted to have a look at today is the scheduling feature. So from the home tab at the top right, we'll tap the plus button and select new schedule. Here we can schedule when lights come on and off and their behavior. So similar to the day and dusk feature, but a little different because we can have a more kind of granular control over this. So we can choose which lights, we can choose what behavior it has, we can choose the brightness, color, all of these things, which can be really useful. We can choose which days they happen, and we can set up multiple schedules. Now, I don't really see myself using this personally because I use other HomeKit apps, but if it works for you, it works for you. Final thoughts on the LIFX A19 bulb. This bulb is a great product. It's super bright. It has great color representation. It's great as an accent piece. I'm just not sure that it's a solution for whole home lighting. I'm also a little bit weary of their dedication to HomeKit. The setup process was a bit of a headache, and it just seems like it's a bit of an afterthought. But I'm just one person. What do you think? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. If you're thinking of picking up one of these bulbs, please consider using the Amazon affiliate link in the description box below. Please like, share, subscribe, and until next time, this has been Dustin with My HomeKit Home.